everyone. Welcome to the Comic Gamer Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I have a review of The Mandalorian Chapter 7, The Reckoning. Now, when you name your this is the penultimate episode, and what penultimate means is this is the setup, the first episode. I mean, so a lot of times it's the setup episode, it's the big episode leading into the season finale. It's been a crazy ride. Now, I can't wait. Now, I'm gonna give my full review of the entirety of The Mandalorian. When I review the 8th episode, I'm just gonna wrap that all into one thing. But as far as The Reckoning goes, this episode is great. This episode, see, this is when you know you're watching a good show, when you can't make up your mind what's your favorite episode and what's not your favorite episode. Because right now, I am having a very, very difficult time making up my mind if this is my favorite episode or not. But I have to say, I loved it, dude. I enjoyed the hell out of it. This one's gonna be right up top. This one's gonna be a 10 for me. It's action-packed. It's emotional. It's great. There's a bunch of great characters come back. I'm gonna have to make this spoilery because there's no way of talking about this episode without talking about the spoilers. Because for a while now, a lot of people have been upset about the episodic nature of the Mandalorian show. This show it doesn't really quite work like other shows where like a lot of other shows are like one big movie. You know, like Stranger Things episodes serve the one big plot. And there might be there might be a B plot or a C plot and other little plots going on, but those are very small and there's one long thread going through them. And like a Game of Thrones or something. Yeah, there are other things going on around the one thread, but the one thread is still moving and there's things around it. Which Mandalorian gave off the vibes of and kind of felt like was that it was harkening back more to what I would say, like some people have said Xena Warrior and Hercules, things of that nature, or even like an Angel or Buffy, maybe more Angel than Buffy, where there's no main where there's just side things going on. And sure, there is a main thread in the background, but most of it is just side things. So what this show kind of is like, and the best description of it, in all the best ways possible, it's like a Saturday morning cartoon show. I harken, when I watch this show, the way I watched this show for a while was a lot like the way I watched the Batman animated series, Justice League animated series, and the Spider-Man animated series, and obviously the X-Men, which is, there is some common threads, and there are certain plots that are connected, but it's mostly isolated events. And the way this plays up is like an old school Western serial. The lone gunman goes this place, goes to a place. Stuff happens around. Stuff happens because he showed up on this place. Bada bing, bada boom. Then he gets on his horse and rides off. And that's the way this show's kind of been handled. And I haven't had a problem with that. I've enjoyed it. It kind of makes it different, actually. Ironically, it kind of makes it different than anything else out there. And I think that's pretty funny that a lot of people are angry that it's not more linear, that it's not more of just one big 8-hour movie, which a lot of people are assuming it was going to be, and a lot of people are upset it's not, which to me, the show never said it was going to be that. You guys assumed it was going to be that. You guys just went on your own limbs and started writing your own story and then got upset when it wasn't that story. But the show has been isolated, but I have always said that I have a gut feeling that all these isolated little threads that seem like nothing are all going to be something. They're all going to be something. They're all going to be for a reason. Things are all going to connect together eventually, and it's all going to make sense in the end. And this episode really, really does its damage to put that over for me. First of all, it's all coming full circle. He picks up Cara Dune, he picks up Quill, he picks up the droid that he shot that's voiced by Taika Waititi at the beginning. The Ugnaughts are back. There's more. Carl Weathers' character Grief is back. They go back to the old planet. You get to see Werner Herzog's character again. It all comes full circle, and all of these allies and people that he has met are coming, are helping him now. Or not all of them, but particularly those three. And there's a lot to unpack in this episode. First of all, it was great to see them all together again on this ship, on this crew. It was great to see Quill again. Quill is so wise, and Nick Nolte does a great job of voicing him. I'm wondering if I should just get to that tough ending or not. No, I'm gonna just build up to it. But anyways, there's a lot of things. First of all, it's pretty much confirmed that like Cara Dune she does not like Imperial, because when the Mandalorian was recruiting her, she was pretty much against it until he told him, well, actually, we're going to kill an Imperial, and she was just like, okay, I'm in. And it's like, yeah. You got me at Imperial. That's all you had to say. Fuck money, fuck that. I'm killing an Imperial. Fuck those guys. So that was nice. You get to play up more of Mandalorian's fear of droids. Quill. You learn more about Quill's backstory. Turns out he used to work for the Empire. It was not like how you think it is. He was an indentured slave. He was sold to the Empire, and that's why he was an engineer. That's why he's so good at building things. In fact, the droid that Mandalorian shot at the beginning, Quill went into the town after he left, picked the droid up, came back and rebuilt him. Basically rebuilt him from scratch. Well, not rebuilt him from scratch, but pretty much rebuilt his insides from scratch, and had to train the droid and like had to reprogram the droid all over again. So he had to put him through all this entire process of picking up things. And there's like this little 2-minute scene of the droid like picking up things and dropping things and stuff, and it's pretty funny. And Quill's like, and then there's a scary scene. Very scary scene. And I think this scene is very, apparent, where it's, to me, you do not know, like, Baby Yoda is, as adorable as he is, he's also dangerous. And it's something that you don't even think about until this scene happens. At least in my opinion, you don't really think about until this scene happens. When Baby Yoda is, like, Cara Dune and the Mandalorian are just kind of arm wrestling. They're just shitting, passing the time. They're arm wrestling. They're just fucking around. And Baby Yoda starts to force strangle her. And I gotta say, it was quite scary, because the look on Baby Yoda's face, and it was kind of scary for a second there, and she was gasping for air, and it was just like, whoa! Like I said, you forget that there is very little information on this baby. By the way, Quill also confirms that this baby isn't a clone. So that's off the table. So the whole clone theory, bam, off the table. This baby isn't a clone, he's organic. So whatever he is, he was born. He's not a clone. He's not a clone of Yoda. Nothing like that. He was born. So that's off the table. But the thing is, no one knows where he came from. We don't know where he came from. We don't know. All we know is that he's from the same species as Yoda. But that doesn't mean anything. We've only ever seen 2 species of Yoda. But that's it. You can't indicate an entire species off of the 2 times you've seen 2 people out of it. So we don't really know. And as adorable as he is, as cute as he is, as everyone's enamored with this thing, we really don't know the nature of it. I mean, your child can be beautiful, little baby boy, and he could grow up to be a murderer. We don't know. And like right at that moment, is the first time that those thoughts ever went through my mind about Baby Yoda. I was like, we don't know enough about him to think that he is safe, and he almost killed Cara Dune, and I just don't know. But that's something else, so a nice little thread to put out there. But anyways, Mando gets a message from Greef, and Greef tells him pretty much that the fucking Empire, well, the remnants of the Empire have pretty much come down here and taken the entire town. They want you. They want the kid. Look, I know me and you didn't get off on the right foot, but look, if you can come down here, take care of this mess, I'll forgive you. You can keep the kid. We'll just basically call this whole thing water under the bridge. And that's what they kind of set it up to be. Of course, in the back of your mind as the audience, you're kind of like, I don't know how much we can trust him. I like Carl Weathers, but he is, we don't know how much we can trust this guy. And it's pretty, it's made pretty apparent when he says, oh, they pay a king ransom for this kid. And something happens, Carl Weathers, and obviously Mando doesn't trust him either, which is why he brings, Cara Dune and Quill with him, and they get there with their with their fucking Ugnaughts, which turns out was a good idea to bring Ugnaughts since they got to do a lot of walking. And I was like, yeah, okay. And so they get there with their Ugnaughts, and they start walking. And they talk to I want to say Krill, Greef, and they work it out, and they're like, okay, we'll walk there, and we'll come up with a plan, and we'll settle this. Needless to say, the plan goes shit tit when they're at a fire, and it all of a sudden it becomes pitch black. Have you ever seen the Vin Diesel movie Pitch Black? That's what happens. These giant poisonous pterodactyl things are just flying around and attacking them. It's It's dark. The only light they got is the only light you see is the blasters and the fire, and it's just nuts. They killed a couple of the Ugnaughts. They ran off with some Ugnaughts. They took one of the other soldiers Grief showed up with. It was crazy. It was kind of terrifying, really. And then Grief got hurt. Poison was spread throughout his body, and Baby Yoda healed him. So it's like this, Baby Yoda is this interesting thing to me right now. And more than just his cuteness, it's as if he represents possibility. And the possibility of both sides. And like you get to see the possibilities of both the negatives and the positives of what Baby Yoda could be. And I think that is fascinating. But then we get more into the story. Obviously, Grief was going to betray them. But after Baby Yoda healed them, obviously he was like, yeah, I can't really do that. So he killed he killed the other guys who was there with him that he was going to kill him with. So he's like, I can't do that. That'd be kind of fucked up. So they come up with a new plan, a real plan this time. And turns out he was lying about how many soldiers were in the town. Turns out the town is full of soldiers. I mean, a lot of them. And they come up with the whole, the classic, oh, take me as a prisoner, they'll want to see me, and the baby, and like, oh, since the baby's in this, like, carriage thing, just close the carriage and bring the carriage with us. They'll just assume the baby's in there, and we'll have Quill take the baby back to the ship, just in case something goes sideways. He can just take off with the baby, and sure, we'll die, but they'll have to hunt this damn baby down. And that's what they were thinking, and that's what they were going to do. And, of course, plan's going. They're bringing the Mandalorian. Cara Dune covers up her tat, and they're bringing the Mandalorian in. They're planning on because he thinks that it's just Grief. It's just Werner Herzog's character that he's just like, if you kill him, then the rest of them will run, because why would they want to die for, like, they're not getting paid, so why would they want to die? And like that's that's a good idea. It's like, well, we're not getting paid, so it's not like we can take over, so why would we continue to fight? Like, fuck that. And they get there, and everything's kind of going according to plan. Werner Herzog's character starts trying to look inside the little thing, and he's getting a little tense for a second there. You think the show sets you up so well. You think a shootout's about to happen. You think it's about to just be a shootout in the middle of this bar. Then Werner Herzog's character gets a call from. Finally, get to see Carlos Esposito's character. I cannot remember. I think his name is Moff Gideon. I think it's Moff Gideon. You get to see his character, Moff Gideon, and like Gideon's just like got this cold demeanor. He's like, do you have the baby? He's like, nah. He's like, yeah. And he's like, check again. And all of a sudden the whole place just gets lit the fuck up. The Mandalorian and Mandalorian, all of them are ducking down. They don't know what's going on. And then they look up and there's Death Troopers in these this awesome black stormtrooper outfits. And then a big ass bus, basically, space bus, shows up with more fucking troopers, and they just unload out, and it's just so many troopers standing, their guns aimed on this one fucking little bar. And then a fucking not TIE fighter, one of the, it might be a TIE fighter. TIE fighter just comes in, lands, and out comes Carlos Esposito with his slick back hair and his moth outfit, and he's just like a cold-blooded man. He's like, you got something I want. And of course, Bando's freaking out. He's trying to call Quill, get out of here, man, go, just go, get the kid out of here, we gotta go. And apparently they pick up, they intercepted his calling him Quill. And these two guys get on speeder bikes and go flying after Quill. He's still on the fucking Ugnaught truck in it, and it's kind of got this, and it's like, oh, it's all this tension. And while Carlos Esposito character's talking, he's talking about how you don't know what you have. That means something to me. You're gonna give it to me. Obviously, his character does not know that. I don't think he knows the baby is out there. I think that he doesn't know that they intercepted that and the baby's out there. But, they're all tense and shit. And next thing you know, and Quill's riding, and Quill can see the ship. He's getting there, and like it cuts, and all you hear is the Mandalorian just screaming, "Quill, are you there? Quill, are you there?" And it cuts, and Baby Yoda's on the ground. They swoop Baby Yoda up, and Quill is laying on the ground with the blaster, obviously taking out the Ugnaught, and he is laying on the ground, motionless, with smoke coming off of his body. Quill dies. It is crazy, and it ends just like that. By the way, folks, the next episode doesn't come out until Friday. Woo! This episode kicked all the ass. It was crazy. It introduced a badass character. All the dots connected. Ended on a cliffhanger of cliffhangers. I ended with me just going, whoa, no, Quill, you're so wise. I knew you were gonna die. You're too goddamn wise to live this long. You lived too long to be so wise, and you had to die. But man, I love this episode. Oh boy. I give this a 10. I enjoyed it. So many questions answered. So many more mysteries, so many more questions. It is beautiful. Thank you guys for joining me on the Comic Gary Movie Show. What did you think of Chapter 7, The Reckoning? Man, this name of this episode really should have given it all away. But man, I am so excited for that last episode. It's going to be so good. I'm going to see Star Wars this weekend. So we'll see. We'll see. But views aren't looking too hot. But thank you guys for joining me in the Comic Game Movie Show. Please remember to like and subscribe. And what did you think of this episode of The Mandalorian? Did you love it as much as I did, or did you not like it? I loved it. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.